Welcome, dear viewers and coin enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Coin Collector's World. Today's story is about a coin that looks small, simple, and ordinary, yet it carries a history so deep and a value so surprising that it has stunned collectors across the world. We are talking about the 1977 United States of America 1-cent coin, the famous Lincoln penny with no mint mark. This tiny copper coin could be hiding in your change, resting in an old jar, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, and it could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. The story of the Lincoln penny begins way back in 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the great President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first American coin to feature a real person's face. For decades, the Lincoln penny has been a symbol of history, leadership, and American pride. But among the billions of pennies that have been made over the years, a few stand out, and the 1977 no-mint mark penny is one of them. When you hold a 1977 penny, you'll notice that it doesn't have a mint mark letter under the date. That's because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, did not place any mint mark on its coins. This is what gives it the title, no mint mark penny. But don't be fooled, not all of these coins are special. Millions were made, and most are still worth just 1 cent. However, among those millions, a few rare pieces have captured the attention of experts and collectors because of their flawless quality, striking color, or unique minting errors. Each 1977 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a rich reddish tone when new. Over time, most of them have darkened or developed spots, but if you ever find one that still shines with that original bright red color, you should look at it closely. Coins that have been perfectly preserved since 1977, untouched, uncirculated, and still in mint state, can be worth a lot of money. Collectors often search for certain details that make a coin stand out. A 1977 penny with sharp, clean lines on Lincoln's hair and coat, a clear and crisp strike, and mirror-like luster can easily rise in value. Even more valuable are coins with visible minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. For example, if you see doubled lettering on the word Liberty, or on the numbers in the date, that could mean your coin is a double die error, which is highly sought after in the coin market. Another interesting thing about the 1977 no-mint mark penny is that it represents the last era of the heavy copper coins. Just a few years later, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from mostly copper to a cheaper zinc composition coated with a thin layer of copper. That means the older pennies, like the one from 1977, are not only collectible but also valuable for their metal content and rarity. Many people don't realize that small coins like this can hold huge value depending on their grade and condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless, mint state coin. Most pennies found in circulation fall between grades 5 and 35. But if you ever find a 1977 penny graded 65 or higher, especially one that looks shiny and new, you might be looking at a coin worth thousands. Imagine the excitement of discovering that an old penny in your house, one that you thought was worthless, could actually change your life. Across the United States, collectors have paid enormous prices for coins like this one. Auction houses have sold pristine examples of the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny for amounts that most people can hardly believe. This coin might look like a simple 1-cent piece, but when it's in perfect condition, it transforms into something extraordinary. It becomes a piece of history, a reflection of American craftsmanship, economy, and the passage of time. Every scratch, every shine, every tiny detail tells a story. And for collectors, that story is priceless. So, what should you do if you think you might have one? First, handle it carefully. Avoid cleaning or polishing it, as that can lower its value. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, the details of Lincoln's face, and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Look for errors, shine, and texture. If it looks special, you can take it to a coin shop or a grading service to find out its true worth. Who knows? You might be holding a piece of hidden treasure that has been sitting unnoticed for decades. Because one of these rare 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies has already sold for an astonishing $70,000, yes, you heard that right, a single penny, just 1 cent, reached the incredible value of $70,000. That is the magic of coin collecting, turning something ordinary into something extraordinary, something that carries both history and fortune. So, keep checking your change, explore those old jars and piggy banks, and don't let any penny go unnoticed. The next time you find a 1977 penny without a mint mark, take a closer look. It might just be the coin that changes your story forever. Today, we're about to explore one of the most fascinating mysteries in American coin history, the 1988 United States 1-cent penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a simple Lincoln penny, the kind you might find in your pocket, lying forgotten in a jar, or mixed in with your spare change. But behind that small, copper-colored surface lies a story that has fascinated collectors for decades. This little coin, often overlooked by millions of people, has a hidden secret that could turn an ordinary find into an extraordinary treasure. Let's go back to the year 1988. It was the final year of Ronald Reagan's presidency. The Cold War was nearing its end, and America was a nation full of hope and change. Meanwhile, in the world of coins, the U.S. Mint was working tirelessly, producing billions of Lincoln cents. These pennies were struck at several mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver coins carried a small letter D, San Francisco used an S, and Philadelphia, as tradition dictated, struck coins without any mint mark at all. Most of these pennies looked identical, and almost all of them were perfectly ordinary. But among those billions, something unexpected happened. A few coins slipped through the system that weren't supposed to exist. Due to a mix-up at the mint, a small number of 1988 Lincoln cents were struck using a die meant for the following year, 1989. This tiny mistake created a new and extremely rare variety of the coin, a transitional design that would go on to become one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents in modern numismatic history. At first, nobody noticed. After all, how many people really take the time to study a penny closely? Most of us just spend them, drop them, or save them in jars. But eventually, eagle-eyed collectors began to notice small differences in the design. And those differences changed everything. The secret lies in the designer's initials, located just below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. On the standard 1988 cent, the initials, FG, representing Frank Gasparo, have a particular shape and spacing. But on the rare variety, those initials matched the style that would be officially introduced in 1989. That meant these 1988 pennies had been struck using an experimental or misplaced die, something that was never supposed to happen. This small, almost invisible difference might sound insignificant, but in the world of coin collecting, those details mean everything. It's these tiny errors that create rarity, and rarity is what drives value. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that millions of people have ignored. It's been spent, dropped, and passed from one hand to another for more than 30 years. And yet, that same coin could be one of the rarest in circulation. That's the beauty of coin collecting: history, mystery, and value all packed into a single piece of metal. Collectors began hunting for the 1988 no-mint mark transitional penny with determination. Some searched old coin rolls, some went through pocket change, while others scanned entire collections under magnifying glasses. Every detail mattered. And when one of these rare coins was found in top condition, clean surfaces, sharp edges, and no signs of circulation, it instantly became the centerpiece of every collection. The discovery of this coin taught collectors something important, that even the smallest details can transform an ordinary coin into something legendary. Each one of these rare pennies tells a story of human error, mechanical precision, and the endless curiosity of those who refused to stop searching. As word spread, excitement grew. Coin forums, magazines, and online auction houses began buzzing with discussions about the mysterious 1988 no-mint mark penny. Collectors wanted to know how many existed, how to identify them, and most importantly, how much they were worth. Well, here's where the story becomes truly unbelievable. For a coin with a face value of just 1 cent, the market value skyrocketed. Depending on the condition and the collector's demand, this rare transitional penny became one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins ever discovered. In pristine, uncirculated condition, this 1-cent coin, a coin that could easily go unnoticed in your change, has been known to sell for an astonishing $45,000. Yes, that's right. A penny worth $45,000. It sounds like something out of a dream, but it's real. That's the power of rarity and discovery in the world of numismatics. So the next time you find a penny lying on the ground or sitting quietly in a jar, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Study the details. You might be holding a piece of history in your hand without even realizing it. One tiny coin could tell a story worth thousands of dollars, and all it takes is a curious eye to find it. Coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about connection. It's about holding a small piece of the past and realizing that every coin has a journey, a maker, and a moment in time. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny reminds us that sometimes, the smallest treasures carry the greatest value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising treasures in American coin history. A coin that many people have in their pockets, lying forgotten in drawers, or resting quietly in old jars of change. Yes, we're talking about the United States of America 1996 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it's just a simple copper-plated zinc coin worth 1 cent. But behind that tiny piece of metal lies a fascinating story, one that could make you look at your spare change in a completely new way. Let's go back in time for a moment. The year was 1996. The Denver Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents. Each coin carried the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a symbol of freedom, courage, and honesty. On the reverse, you'd find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, representing the unity and strength of the nation. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among those millions of pennies struck at the Denver Mint, a few came out different. These are the ones collectors are hunting for, the coins that contain tiny minting errors, rare details, or unusual characteristics that make them stand out. Sometimes, these differences are so small you can barely see them with the naked eye: a faint doubling on Lincoln's face, a slightly misplaced mint mark, or even a crack in the die that leaves a strange raised line on the surface. To most people, it looks like nothing. But to a coin collector, it's the mark of rarity, a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So how can you tell if your 1996 D penny might be one of these special ones? Start by examining the mint mark, the small letter D located just below the year. Make sure it's not faded, and look for any signs of doubling or distortion. Then check Lincoln's features: his eyes, his beard, and the word Liberty. A true double die or misprint can add tremendous value. Also pay close attention to the edges. Off-center strikes or weak rims can be signs of a minting error too. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that are still shiny, untarnished, and well-preserved, what collectors call brilliant uncirculated or mint state, are especially valuable. So if you happen to find one of these in perfect condition, you might be holding onto a small piece of American history worth far more than just 1 cent. But why do collectors go crazy over such small details? Because these coins are unique. Each error tells a story about the minting process, a story of imperfection in a world that strives for precision. And that imperfection, that little twist of fate, is exactly what makes a coin priceless. Over the years, coin enthusiasts have been discovering hidden gems in their old jars of pennies, coins that look ordinary at first, but turn out to be extraordinary under the right light. Stories have surfaced of collectors finding rare Lincoln cents tucked away in collections, passed down through families, or found in pocket change after decades. It's the thrill of discovery that drives every coin hunter, that magical moment when you realize that the smallest coin in your hand could change your life forever. And when it comes to the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, there's one thing that's captured the world's attention. Some of these rare coins, especially those with unique minting errors and flawless surfaces, have been valued at astonishing amounts. They've been traded, auctioned, and sold among serious collectors for unbelievable prices, proving that even the humblest coin can carry incredible worth. So the next time you come across a 1996 D penny, don't let it slip through your fingers. Examine it closely. Protect it. Because you might be holding something that generations of collectors dream of finding, and now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Some of these rare and special 1996 D Lincoln pennies have been valued at an incredible $35,000. So go ahead, start searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Thank you for watching Coin Collector's World, where every coin tells a story, and every story could lead you to a hidden fortune. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your next coin could be the one that changes everything.